Hey, Dustin Tibbetts here, financial advisor with Jazz Wealth Managers. How you doing today? Hope you're having a great day. We're financial advisors here at Jazz Wealth. This is just a fun, quick series we do called FinTips. You can actually search on our channel and see the different series there. Very short, simple videos. Just teach you something new and then get the hell out of the way so you can get back to keeping your dough straight. Well, anyways, today we're going to talk about, you know, when you want to contribute to a Roth IRA, but your income's getting higher and you're like, I don't know, am I still allowed to contribute to a Roth IRA? You know, there's a limit there. So what we're talking about today are those people that are getting close to that magic number. Today we're going to cover married filing jointly, and we'll cover single for you there as well. You know that it's not a hard and fast number. Let me explain here real quick. So we'll go over the chart. When you're married filing jointly, right, and you want to contribute to a Roth IRA, you think that the magic number is $203,000. That's what I see everybody market out there. They say if you make $203,000 or more, and it's your modified adjusted gross income, it's not actually your earnings there. People get that confused, but they always use this number, right? That's the tough one. It's actually a range. It's between 193 and 203. It's called a phase-out range. And all this basically means is as your modified adjusted gross income gets closer to the 203, you're allowed to contribute to the Roth, but a reduced amount, right? And they phase you out. So basically, you maybe at like 193, you could still contribute the full $6,000 if you're under the age of 50. But as you start getting closer to 203, now it's $5,000, $4,000, so on and so on. The issue is it's up to you to calculate the exact numbers. You know that? There's really no like automated way where you're investing and somehow your advisor or your brokerage firm, they call you and they're like, hey, just notice your income's getting higher, your adjusted gross income, and you should contribute $2,384. You actually have to figure this out. If you don't figure it out, the IRS will, and you don't want the IRS asking questions, really, if you can afford it. So how do you calculate that? Let's go for it. Stay with me now. This is right from the IRS. I just changed the formula so that there'd be less steps. The IRS listed out step by step in an ultra confusing way. What I did is I was going to use what they said. I said, but that's way too hard. Let's just make it a lot simpler here. So what you're going to do is start with your modified adjusted gross income as a married couple. For my example, to keep the math simple, I'm going to say that your modified adjusted gross income is $200,000, right? So you're $200K. So you're close to the limit. You're not over the limit, but we know you got to contribute a reduced amount. So how do we figure that out? You take $200,000 or whatever your modified adjusted gross income is, and you subtract it from the low end of the range, which is currently set at 193. So if your modified adjusted gross income is 198 or 197, whatever it is, you subtract it from the 193. And, 193,000, okay? So now in this case, that's going to give us $7,000 in our example here. So now what we have is $7,000. And if you're married filing jointly, you're now going to multiply that by 10,000. I know, right? Now you're going to multiply it by 10,000. So when you multiply it by 10,000, you get 0.7, right? Or 0.70 there. That's what that equals. So recap, modified adjusted gross income minus the low end of the range, whatever that number is, multiply it by 10,000. If you're married filing jointly, you get 0.7. And all you're going to do is like in high school or middle school or whatever, you're going to move the decimal over here and draw a percent sign. That 70% in this example means that 70% of the maximum allowable contribution you are no longer allowed to make in this case, right? You are only eligible to make 30% of the maximum contribution. You with me? Right? Okay, so let's pretend. So 70% is out the window. The $6,000, take 70% of that, put it aside, you're not allowed to contribute it. It means you can contribute 30% of the max. If you're under the age of 50, then your max is $6,000. 30% of $6,000 is $1,800. That's how much you would be allowed to contribute if you have $200,000 modified adjusted gross income, married filing jointly, and you'd like to contribute to a Roth IRA. $1,800 would be your max. If you are over the age of 50, you're going to follow the same rules, but now your max is $1,000 more, and you can contribute $2,100, right? Yeah, $2,100. That's all you can contribute as a married filing jointly couple. You with me? Did we write enough stuff on there? Oh boy. Okay, so what else? We're going to do single people, right? So let's say you're single. The IRS cares about you too, right? Your brokerage firm doesn't need to pay attention to these numbers, but you probably should pay attention to them too. If you're single and you're filing that way and you're like, hey, I'm making good money, modified adjusted gross income is higher, you know your number is, you hear the 137, right? But your phase out starts over here at 122, right? So we're basically going to do the same thing here. We just have a couple different numbers. Stay with me. So let's pretend in this case, you know, you're in this ballpark here. Your single modified adjusted gross income is in the middle, right? So let's say you make a modified adjusted gross income of $130,000 as a single person. Nice job. You made some good money there. That's your starting point. You are still going to subtract it from the low end of the range, which is the 122,000 in this case, and your number is now going to be 8,000, right? So if this were you, now you've got 8,000. It doesn't stay the same here for you. You're going to take that number, the $8,000, but you as a single person, you are going to multiply that by 15,000, right? Thank God for automated like calculators and stuff these days, right? Or the automated things to figure this out. 8,000 times 15,000 is 53%, right? So 53% of the max contribution out the window, you can't do it. You are allowed to contribute 46% of the maximum contribution given your income. The maximum contribution for you, 46% of 6,000, is $2,760 in this case. This feels like math class, man. I'm about to fall asleep. I really don't enjoy this. All right, 46%, say you're over the age of 50, you know, your max is 7,000 still. You're at 3,220, right? 3,220. Sorry about that. So the point is a lower reduced contribution. Now you know how to figure it out. I'm sorry, that's the way it is, but unfortunately, that's the way it is. I'm sure there are calculators that can figure this out. If you have an account somewhere, you're working with a financial advisor, ask them to figure it out for you. Just say, hey, my modified adjusted gross income is whatever. What's my number, right? Did I put too much in? Now, it's later in the year. If you happen to have already put too much in, you can fix it, right? You just have to go to your brokerage firm, go to your financial advisor, whoever it is. If you happen to be working with us, just let me know. And what I can do is fix it for you. I will just adjust it before you pay your taxes. That's the key thing there. The IRS allows you to make the mistake. Okay, I didn't know, I'm sorry. But if you go through tax day and you don't try to fix the mistake, now they assume you weren't going to fix the mistake, and now the penalties and interest start piling up. So be very careful there. I hope that helps you. Thankfully, we don't do videos like this a lot. Also, no closing beat today. I always promote our show, The Closing Beat. It's a live stock market update show. We do 5 o'clock Eastern Time every day on our YouTube channel, Jazz Wealth Managers. However, we're taking the day off here, doing some interesting things for our customers, so we need to get prepared for them. Something really cool. We'll be sharing more about that with you. But no closing beat today. So thank you for watching this video. If for some reason that helped you, maybe you'll hit the subscribe button. It just takes a second, or the thumbs up, or leave a comment. If I messed up a number, sorry. I messed up maybe, but engage with me. Let me know what you think on this one, even if you just say, oh, I hate the IRS. All right, enjoy.
Why should you choose Jazz Wealth as your retirement or long-term investing service? Our portfolios are managed by us, not some faceless mutual fund manager. Our private classes will teach you everything about investing and getting your dough straight. Best of all, our fiduciary standard means your best interest comes before ours.